Hello everyone, welcome to BN class. In this video, I am going to talk about metal and non-metal, especially the properties of metals and non-metals, that is physical properties and chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So let's begin. So physical properties of metals. So first point, that is the properties, the lustrous. The lustrous, you can see here the lustrous. The shining property of metal is called the lustrous, or you can write that the shining property of metal is called the lustrous. And among the metals, these are the most importantly the lustrous metals, that is first one is the rhodium, platinum and gold. Okay, if you number it like this is first one, second and the third one. So like this, the first most lustrous metal is the rhodium, then platinum and the gold. After that, many others are also there. Okay, so you remember these 3 points: rhodium, platinum and gold. This is the lustrous, that is shining property of the metal. The second point, come to here, the metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. So here you can see the metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. And among all the metals, silver is the best conductor of heat. And there is also exceptional case are also there. The lead and mercury, these two elements, they are the poor conductor. These are the poor conductor. Okay, these are the poor conductor of heat and electricity. So these 2 points, first 2 points, I think it is clear. Okay. Second point, it is the metals are the good conductor of heat and electricity. Among the metals, the silver is the best conductor, and lead and mercury are the poor conductor of heat and electricity. Okay, come to the next part. Okay, that is the third point. Metals generally has high melting point. Okay, so this is the third point. We can see that the metals, they have a very high melting point. Some exceptional are also there, that is gallium and cesium. These are the two metals that can be melt on our palm. Okay, apart from these two metals, also some other metals are also there. Sodium, that it has also little bit less melting point as compared to the other. So mostly these two metal, you have to remember these two metals. It may be come in your exam. Okay, the gallium and cesium, these are the two metals that can melt on our palm. Clear? Then come to the fourth point. The metals generally has very high density. Okay, density means it is the ratio between mass by volume. Okay, it is the density. So the metal has very high density. Okay, then density means the ratio between the mass by volume. Okay, come to the next one. Then fifth point, that is malleability or malleable property. So metals has the malleable property, that is the property of metal that can be beaten into thin sheet. Okay, that is the property of metal that can be beaten into the thin sheet is called the malleable. Or the most malleable metals are gold. One is gold and second one is the silver. Okay, remember these two examples of malleability. So the first malleable metal is the gold and second one is the silver. Other metals are also there. Okay, but in the ring we can say that gold has the highest malleability and the second one is the silver. Okay, this is the fifth point. Then come to the sixth point, ductile. Okay, property of ductile, that is it is another property of metal. What happen in this property? It is the property in which the metal can be drawn into thin wire. Okay, it can be drawn into the thin wire. Okay, so here the most ductile metal is platinum, and you can observe here that if you take 10 centimeter long and 1 centimeter diameters of platinum, we can draw it into the what? 27,778 kilometer long. So we can draw it into the 27,778 kilometer long. So platinum is the more ductile than gold and silver or copper. So don't confuse, gold is not the most ductile one. Here the platinum is the number one, and second one is the gold, and this is the second one, and third one is silver, then copper and other metals. Okay, so remember the first one is the platinum. Okay, this is the 6th point. Then 7th point, you come to that the metals are sonorous. That is the sonorous properties of metals. The sonorous means the ringing sound. It produces the ringing sound. So school bell, we have seen the ringing sound of school bell, as the school bell is made up of metals. So the ringing property of the metal is called the sonorous. So metals are show the sonorous property also. Okay, this is the 7th point. Then come to the 8th point, that is usually metals are usually solid at room temperature. So generally all the metals are found in the solid stage. Okay, solid state. All the metals are found in solid state. Exception is also there, that is the mercury. We know that mercury is used in the thermometer, okay, to measure the temperature, and this mercury is a liquid metal. Why we use mercury in the thermometer? Because it has the capillary action. It can rise in the tube. So mercury used as a element in the thermometers to measure the temperature. So mercury is exceptional. Okay, this is the 8th point. Then come to the last point, that is generally what happens? The metals are opaque. That means as thin opaque as thin sheet. So it is the opaque, that means we cannot see through that metals to other part. Suppose if here is the metal, okay, here is the metal, and a person is standing here, that person will not able to see the objects of this side, because this is the opaque one. That is the meaning of opaque. The thin sheet of metals can be the opaque one. Okay, remember these points. All 9 points I have discussed here, the physical properties of metals, and I think these physical properties will be very, very helpful for you for your examination point of view. So again I will show, that is the first one, the lustrous. Second one is metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. Third one, it has the high melting point except gallium, cesium. It has high density. Then it is malleable, ductile, they are sonorous, usually they are solid except mercury, and the last one is opaque. Okay, then come to the another topic, that is the chemical properties of metal. Okay, here you see the chemical properties. Generally what happens, metals have 1 to 3 electrons in outer shell of each metal's atom and lose electron readily. That means the outermost shell of a metal contain 1 to 3 electrons. That means we can say the metals are electropositive, that can lose electron easily, and it can become the positively charged cations by losing the electrons. This is the first point, chemical properties. Then second point, the metals corrode easily. Okay, corrosion. So damage by oxidation. So in case of metals, it can be easily corrode. It can react with oxygen and the moisture of the atmosphere, and its surface will be the corroded. Clear? This is the second point. Then third point, metals can lose electron easily. In the first point I talk about this, that is what metals are electropositive. That is the reason why it can lose electron easily. This is the third point of the chemical property. Then come to the fourth one. Metals form oxide that are basic. That is very important one. Okay, whenever we observe here, you see the magnesium oxide. I am taking the example of magnesium oxide here. So magnesium oxide here, the magnesium is the metal and it is oxygen. So it is called the metal oxide, and nature of this metal oxide is basic. Okay, so remember this point. Whatever oxide of metals are there, they are basic in nature. Again, this is the what? Calcium oxide. Okay, calcium oxide is also basic in nature. Clear? So fifth point, come to the fifth point. Have lower electronegativities. That means electronegativity means the tendency of gain electron is very low, because it is electropositive elements. Okay, metals are electropositive, so that getting or taking electron, they have the very less tendency. Okay, so lower electronegativity. And sixth one, they are good reducing agent. It can reduce the other elements. Okay, so it is the good reducing element. Then all about the chemical properties of metals. The first one, again I am repeating, the first one, they have 1 to 3 electrons in their outermost shell. Okay, and they can readily lose the electron. Then second point, they can corrode easily, because they can perform the oxidation reaction by reacting with oxygen and the moisture of the atmosphere. Then they can lose electron easily. The oxide of metals is basic in nature. They have lower electronegativities and they are good reducing agent. Then come to the physical properties of non-metals. Okay, now we are going to discuss the physical properties of non-metal. Here the first point, totally if you recall the physical properties of metal, you can easily memorize or make a chart, or you make a understanding or summary of that physical properties of non-metals. The first one, it is non-luster. As you see that metals are lustrous, but they are not luster. They have the dull appearance. Okay, there is no shiny appearance. First point. The second point, they are poor conductor of heat and electricity. Okay, that is the opposite of, it is also opposite of metal. Metals are good conductor of heat and electricity, and the non-metals are poor conductor of heat and electricity. Then come to the third point, non-ductile solid. Okay, if some metals are found in the solid state, they are non-ductile. Okay, non-ductile. Generally, metals are found in the gaseous state. Okay, most of the not the metal, it is non-metal. Most of the non-metals are found in the gaseous state. If some non-metals found in the solid state, they are non-ductile. Okay, non-ductile. Clear? This is the third point. Then fourth one, they are brittle. They are brittle solid. Brittle solid means if you hammer the non-metal like coal, if you hammer the piece of coal, it will break into small pieces. That is called the brittle. So it will not convert into any thin sheet, not convert into any wire or thin wire. It will break down into the small pieces. That is called the brittle. Okay, I think it is clear. Fourth point. Then fifth point, may be solid, liquid or gas at room temperature. So you see here, the non-metals may be solid. Okay, that is, we can say the coal is the form of non-metals. It is the form of carbon, and graphite, diamond. Okay, all these are the allotropes of the carbon, and they are found in the solid state. Then the liquid bromine. Bromine is liquid non-metals, and other gases like chlorine, fluorine, hydrogen. All these are the gaseous form. So we can say the non-metals may be found in solid state, liquid state and gaseous state. Clear? Then come to the sixth point. Transparent as thin sheet. what happened in the metals, that was the opaque, but in case of non-metals, if it is thin sheet, it will become the transparent. Okay, then 7 point, non-metals are not sonorous. They lose the sonorous property. There is no ringing sound property. Okay, so non-metals are non-sonorous. Then come to the another part, that is the non-metals chemical properties. That means the chemical properties of non-metals. Okay, the first point, let us discuss the first point. The first one, usually have 4 to 8 electron in their outermost shell. What happened? That is word you see here, the word using here is the usable, not all non-metals. That is, usually they have 4 to 8 electrons in their outermost shell. Clear? Then second point, readily gain or share valence electron. Non-metals has a tendency to gain electron, as the non-metals are the electronegative. Okay, electronegative, so they can either gain the electron or share the electron. This is the second property of non-metals. Then come to the third point, form oxide that are acidic. Okay, the oxide which is formed by non-metal is acidic in nature, like carbon dioxide is acidic in nature, sulfur dioxide is acidic in nature. Okay, this is the third point. And what was the oxide of metals? That is, oxide of metal is basic and oxide of non-metal is acidic. Then come to the fourth point, have higher electronegativities. That means they have the tendency to gain electron is very very high. Okay, as they have, that is, tendency is very very high, or you can say electron affinity is very very high of non-metals. Okay, and are good oxidizing agent. So as they can take the electron from other species, other elements, so it can act as a oxidizing agent. Okay, so this is all about the chemical properties of the non-metal, and hope you understood the physicals and chemical properties of metals and non-metals. And thank you all. Keep watching my videos like this. Thank you.